Cedar sign up. Shifty work into the box. And across. It's in. Oh, it's Loho. It's a dream return.
Welcome to Casual FC, an Angel City preview pod. I'm your host, Mario Salazar, with my fired up co-host, Angela Morales. Shit's not good, guys.
I would actually go so far to say that shit's bad.
Yeah.
We're past not good.
This tea, if it sounds like we're yo-yoing from like super optimistic, like an episode or two ago to like down in the dumps, what's going on, it's because this team has us like this. And also, yeah, we'll get to all of that. All right, this is our match preview of our Pride match. It's the Pride match against the Pride. It's going to be at 4:30 p.m. It's going to be broadcast on a bunch of places, so like you can't miss it. It's going to be on NWSL Plus, which is free. It's going to be on the Golazo network. It's going to be on Bally Sports, and it's also going to be on Paramount Plus. It's also going to be on the radio with iHeartRadio. Listen to Isaac and Tracy, the homies. We love listening to them every single chance we can. And in Spanish, 13:30 AM, Tu Liga Radio. It's going to be, yeah, like we said, Pride match. There's going to be a giveaway at the stadium.
Woo.
There's going to be an ACFC Pride bandana. Be aware that it's only for the first 10,000 people. It's one of those gate giveaways, so as you come into the stadium, they'll be handing them out, most likely. Don't quote me on that. They've done a couple of them where you get them handed out on as you leave. But
I'm sure it'll be as you walk in, given that there's going to be a huge fan fest. It's Pride.
But they did post it up on their on their Instagram that it's going to be for the first 10,000 people. So I always makes me wonder, they know there's 22,000 seats and they're like, oh yeah, let's do it for less than half. But it is what it is. If you want a Pride bandana, make sure you get there early. All right.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Let's get into everything that's been happening.
Our Chaos Award, talking about this last week before noon today, roughly. It was going to be 3 games in 8 days, a lot of travel. What Casey Stoney said, that the league needs to figure out the situation with scheduling, until Casey Stoney got let go / resigned / got fired by San Diego. And then 5 hours later, give or take, BFC's GM resigns. It's Monday. Like... Monday. It's Monday. I've been up since 4:30. This is too much. Yeah, there's a lot happening right now. San Diego got their new GM, who is Kansas City's old GM. Casey Stoney signed like a 4-year extension in January, moved her whole family over here, and got cut by San Diego, which is wild to me, given that she's won Coach of the Year, or was in the running for, I don't remember now, and like won the Shield, got to the playoffs. This is an expansion team. I don't understand.
Today has been a whirlwind. Just a lot of information.
A lot of
over
me
the
sending
weekend.
Mario a billion text messages today, so many screenshots.
Yeah, there's lots of banter and stuff and opinions going about from this. The BFC GM, the Casey Stoney thing, our match, which we'll get to, unfortunately, in a little bit. National team interviews.
Which I don't even want to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm so angry.
It's been a hell of a weekend. So yeah, we're just going to keep on rolling. This one might not be as cheery as most of our episodes, maybe we'll try to pick it back up. But it's been crazy, guys. Yeah, as we know, we all, both San Diego and ourselves, and I believe Gotham might have been in that round too, of basically everybody who was down a match, who had that match in hand, got penalized by playing that match in hand on a crazy short week of 3 games in 8 days. And the thing that Casey Stoney was pointing out and was complaining about was the fact that they had to travel across the country multiple times and then still play like within a day or two. We all circled this week as a crazy week because of how short it was, especially leading into the Olympics. But look, don't do stuff like this. Yes, I know the Olympics are going on. Players are going to be gone. You know what? You have no problem creating an entire stupid ass Challenge Cup 2.0 tournament to keep the players going. Just let the players just stretch out the matches stretch out that one extra match during that time. It's not.
There's national team replacement players for a reason.
Yes. And the reason is for player safety and player load management, not for we want to create a new tournament. I love the tournament. I love the idea. It's like not all of, but Liga MX versus NWSL. It sounds great on paper until you start looking at the reality of where it's being placed, what it's affecting.
Right.
And how it's becoming essentially let's face it, it's Challenge Cup 2.0. It's, we made a lot of money during Challenge Cup. That was pretty cool. What can we do to keep going with it? Oh, look at what the MLS did over there creating the Leagues Cup. Maybe we go with that. All right.
Yeah. So with that said, quick roundabout from the midweek games. As Gotham played San Diego in New York or New Jersey, Gotham won 2-1. We played Racing Louisville. We won. Very well, maybe the last win until after the Olympics, given our upcoming schedule. But there's one note that we forgot to mention about Merritt that Zach sent in. He said,
He sent this first one right after the throwdown happened. During the game, he sent this first one.
Yeah. He said, and can we talk about Merritt's throwdown moment with a bunch of grimacy emojis, but 3 fire emojis, was ready to for the chisme to escalate, which all of us were. Said Matthias wasn't going to let that go after coming back. So many dangerous and risky plays that the ref just didn't call, which absolutely true. After watching Coach's reaction, she was by far not impressed. Player safety didn't seem to be a priority, but blowing his whistle arbitrarily seemed to be, like Nathan Shelley from Ted Lasso.
Just when in doubt, just blow the whistle. Don't know why.
Honestly.
Yeah.
But when they're flipping around, it's not important.
Jeez. Yeah. So those were the midweek matches, and then we go into this weekend. Orlando won over Utah 6-0. And guess what we're playing next?
Brace. Marta had a brace. This is great until we play them.
Until we're next on the chopping block. Yeah. All right. Houston and Wave tied. Wave being another short-rested team that just came from. They went from Gotham to Houston. They didn't even get a home match. 1-4 against the Current. The Courage won 3-1 over Chicago. Seattle and Racing tied at 1. And Gotham lost to the Spirit 0-2. Which brings us to our match, which was against Bay. We were on that short rest. We flew up to San Jose to play Bay FC. And yeah, the match was 1-0. There was one score by Bodie at the 33rd minute. Nobody on ACFC scored. And the one very depressing stat that came out while I was trying to listen to this while on my phone. I was out and I was trying to listen to whatever my speaker can pump out. This was only the second shutout that Bay FC had. And guess who the other team that they shut out was? It was us when we played them in the very first match. Meaning we are the only team in the league to have not scored on Bay FC.
And for those who don't remember, that was our home opener.
What the hell? We were coming off this high, this kind of false high of we played a really commanding game against Racing. We changed the lineup. Things were like, we're trying new stuff, and that's what we've been asking for. We get to this game, we see the lineup again, being the new lineup, being this 5-3-2 lineup. We're like, all right, we're going to be doing a little bit more. Yeah, that didn't happen.
And I don't know if it was just third game in 8 days, but load management kind of made sense for some players, not for others. Sid played every minute of those 3 games. Every single one. Sid doesn't need to be playing every single minute of 3 games in a week.
Yet we still haven't seen
I just don't understand.
We didn't we didn't see Bright. She was there because I saw pictures of her taking pictures with fans. She was geared up, so like...
Yeah, she was in the lineup.
What?
I just don't understand what's happening.
Becky, you're making it hard for us to keep defending you. Because we do know this is not 100% on you. There's also, I was speaking to someone in our DMs about the strategy, about what the idea was, and it's one of these things where, okay, Becky is doing what she's doing. She's getting it, trying to get them in line, trying to get them into a system, but there's only Becky. She's not the one on the field.
Yeah.
Right? She can't score the goals for them. As we've been talking about, our complete breakdown in the final third has been the hard thing to see, and I don't know, honestly, I don't know how to fix that. And now our back line is starting to fall apart. I want to say that this loss definitely had some third game in 8 days and like and load management and super tired vibes going on, but also like among that tiredness was just a complete breakdown. Like passes.
I don't know where the team from Wednesday went. Like it felt like completely different.
Yeah, like you would see glimpses of that team at least with the new formation and with the new kind of attack. It looked like they found something new in that win against Racing. And that was the game plan moving into this one. Knowing that we're going to be tired, so it's going to be a kind of a slog, but at least there was something new that was working. And then everybody forgot the script. And everybody got the wrong draft of the script. They all were playing something different.
That's what it feels like. That 4 people are on one game plan. 2 people are on another. 3 people are on a different one. So it's what? 9? Then 2 more are somewhere else. It definitely feels... It just feels like... I don't want to say it feels like they're not trying, because that's not what it is at all. It just feels like nobody knows what's going on with the other players. The folks on the pitch are all on different pages or are interpreting the game plan differently. And there's no cohesion. So it's just very frustrating. That's all.
It is. And yeah, there's always been this idea of we are definitely marketing FC first, right? It's more about the how can you sell the team and talk about the team. And we have the makings. It's my favorite quote from Do you remember Rookie of the Year?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A baseball
Yeah.
movie? Come on. It's
Come
a
on.
movie I've actually seen.
Funky butt lovin'.
Yeah.
They go down to the lake to work on their boat. And then when they're talking to the girl finally, and they're like, we have a boat. And he's like, no, we don't. We have wood in the shape of a boat. We don't have a boat. That's what's going on with this is
Yeah.
we have players in the shape of a team. Individually, these players are amazing, right?
Yeah.
We have Sydney LaRue, we have Allie Riley, we have both Thompsons.
Like we have Olympians, we have World Cup champions.
We have international, like national team players for each one of their respective countries. On paper, we have the makings of a team. For some reason, it's not coming together, and I don't understand why. And I don't know. I personally am not the type of person to figure out why there was this jump from last season to this season. And I was talking to Gabe, and then his thing was the turnaround happened by playing very pragmatic, which wasn't that much different with that Freya had. It was just playing better under Tweed, but going into this season, it seems like the front office explicitly told them, don't play pragmatic, make it something different.
Yeah.
And it's just not working. And like we said, it feels like everybody on the team got a different script and they're not doing what they're doing. And some of them, instead of doing what they're supposed to be doing, are reverting back to, shit's hitting the fan. This is going horribly. I'm going to revert back to what I know, and I'm going to play the way I play.
Right.
Again, a lot of individual talent. Guys, we're frustrated, and I know you guys are too. I don't want this to be the downer episode.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. And the hard part is that while we're struggling, we're going to play the team I think is the best team in the league with some of the best international players. And it's just going to rub our nose in it. We are going to be exploited, and it's frustrating. I wanted to be so excited about the Pride match. You get to see Marta, you get to see Barbara Banda, and I'm just not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about what other people have to say.
Yes. Okay. So as we do after the match, put up the prompt. This one was just, 12 more matches to go. Dustin came in first with frustrating. That's the same team from the other day? ? Definitely missed Curry out there.
Yeah.
And then after that, sent us a DM with follow-up match thoughts. I've never played soccer, so I'm newish to the sport and to the way clubs and leagues work. But it feels like the front office and or Coach Tweed aren't putting the players in the situations where they can succeed. When we do well, it feels more in spite of instead of because of the tactics, personnel decisions, roster building. Probably should have submitted that for the midseason check-in, but this week really typified that thought for me.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. I think that's what a lot of people are feeling right now, is that when we score, when we have these great plays, it's happening in spite of everything else. Not because of the work that they're putting in or the connection that the team has or whatever. It's, oops, we did something right. And it's just a bummer.
And then Kay writes in, I gotta give this, I'm gonna put my acting chops on. Bay is terrible. And if they're terrible, we're terrible.
Yeah.
That period was bad.
The hard part is that we had some great chances in the first half. I watched about 15 minutes of the second half and I got mad. And I turned it off because I was going to my friend's birthday party and I didn't want to be a complete rain cloud. I also wasn't feeling good, so that didn't help.
Yeah, I sent a message to Angela because I was watching it on my phone also. And I was like, oh, I'm turning it off not knowing that she was going to a party. I thought she was at home. So I was like, oh, just turning it off now to conserve battery during the halftime break. And then Angela's, oh, yeah, we're heading to a party and we're just going to stay in the car to recharge a little bit. I'm like, definitely. And then the game starts. A couple minutes in, I text Angela, what the hell's going on? And then, yeah, straight up, I stopped watching. It got frustrating.
Yeah,
It was.
I didn't want to be like Debbie Downer at my with my friends.
Yes.
But yeah. So Jeff came in and said the response character limit is too short. Haha. Which I agree with.
Yeah. Yeah, so he had to DM this, but
yeah. So here's my response to the possible bright side. I'll play devil's advocate, and you could say 4 points is positive in the short week. We also could have empty pockets from today till the Olympic break. We have 0 today, and we have Orlando and Gotham after. Both home, but good chance we lose both. Hoping in points to ties as a miracle. We win or both. Honestly, we get a draw. Okay, cool. Rest definitely was a factor, as I feel we didn't have our best 11 on at the same time. And as the game went on, mental/exhausted mistakes shown more and more. Biggest issue is consistency. Tweed may get flack for her tactics and times, but the players need to put the chances away and be better game after game. No beating ourselves up with sloppy passes and bad giveaways. We get to rest up, and hopefully we're ready for a tough 2 weeks ahead. We can win, but what team will show up? The one that beat Racing or the one that showed up today? Volemos. I'll always try and stay positive. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. But that's the question. It's which version of this team is showing up? We don't know. And I don't think they know right now. I think they're a little lost in their sauce. Our boy Janthony said that build up to the Rocky shot and miss. Also, the starting 11 from Wednesday night, close. Ethan
came in clutch.
Let me just say, Ethan to the pod. Because we joked, like, give us a poem, give us something silly, give us a haiku. And he came in with a haiku. He said the text box won't let you enter a haiku. So then he messaged us with lack chem, youth, all vets, right formation, but did give it up. Pass up, balls in nets. That last line.
Yes.
Passing backwards, just, it's infuriating at this point. And there's certain who, like, drive me crazy for doing it. I'm not going to name names because I don't want to talk major shit. But I think it's a collective thought that there's certain players that when they come in, don't actually try to move the ball forward. Whether they come in or where they start, because they do both. And we need to get the ball past the midfield. We have strikers, but they can't do anything. They don't have the ball. They've been saying that for 3 years.
Yeah.
2.5.
I want to print this on a shirt and just be like, yes, this is what's going on. And this last line should be like the biggest thing on there. Yeah, I just can't state it more about this last final third. Also, as Ethan wrote, pass up. We need to stop passing backwards.
Yeah.
We love Deedee. She's solid back there. We are lucky to have her. As Angela has mentioned before, we're basically on borrowed time with Deedee because she was at a point of retiring at one point, decided to come back, and has been really doing great. She's had a couple of knocks and issues that she's come back from in great fashion. Yet, we know what her weaknesses are.
I also don't think any keeper wants to touch the ball as much as she does.
Yes.
The whole point is for them not to.
There was plenty of times where I was watching that game and there were some short passes. It almost felt, what was that? What was the match that was just completely waterlogged? Was that a national team match or was that an ACFC match?
No, it's Houston. Oh, the waterlog game? The
Yeah.
Columbia game. The national team versus
Yeah,
Columbia.
where it felt like anytime they kicked the ball, it felt like it was going through sludge because it literally was
Mhm.
going through sludge, like it couldn't move. At times, that's how this felt. Yet there was no
Yeah,
no
it wasn't
rain.
raining.
It's nice and sunny. Some passes were like so half-heartedly kicked that it led to giving up the ball in our defensive third, which means in their attacking third. And then that's the
Yep.
reason Deedee had to make so many amazing saves. Not because they were just amazing saves. They were amazing saves in desperation because of really bad giveaways. Okay. But thank
Hit me
you
with the
everyone who
standings.
yeah, thank you everyone that sent us, that's what we're doing here. It's footy therapy. We're releasing the demons, we making sure we feel heard, and we exercise what we need to exercise. So let's talk about the standings. We're currently in 10th place, 15 points. We are tied with Bay FC and San Diego Wave. So all three California teams are on 15 points. I believe Bay is in 9th and Wave is in 11th. The big thing about this is that because Racing ended up tying in their match, we're still only 1 point away from the playoff line. Racing is at 16.
Which is wild.
It's wild. It's wild how this year, usually the gap doesn't start widening till the very end and everything's super tight. Right now, everything is super tight in like 4th through like 10th, 11 now. Like 4 to 11, everything's like super tight, pretty close to each other. And then, Orlando and KC are on a different planet right now, just going crazy.
Yeah.
But again, we're only 1 point away from the playoff line. As we stated before, every single match is going to be super crucial to at least walk away with a point. We can't walk away completely empty-handed. Hopefully the Olympic break ends up doing us some good, where we don't really have many or any players heading off to the Olympics.
We have Cap, but she's hurt.
But she's hurt, so who knows if she's going to end up playing. But hopefully this Challenge Cup 2.0 doesn't screw us over and we get injured. Yeah. Like you said, we don't want to throw any games. We don't want to just be like, we're not going to play in this. We're fine losing. I think losing more matches during that tournament is going to be worse for morale. So
absolutely.
Let's use if we end up losing all our matches in that tournament, if we come away from that tournament trying something different every single match, even every single half, every single 45, we try something new, we change something up. We use this as like a rapid experimental time.
Like what we did with the Challenge Cup last season.
Yeah, and we come out with a game plan for the rest of the year, for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I will call that a win.
I think we're at the point of the season, and this is leading into talking about the match. Like we just need to put it together. If that means that we just F around and find out, then that's what it means. Try something crazy. Try literally anything. We need to show up to play with intent. An intent to win, an intent to score, while also being this defensive force that we've always been. I made a decision not to talk about any specific players for Angel City tonight because I don't know what to say. And it makes me really sad because I love this team, but it's just a big bummer right now. I just keep my eyes on seeing backward passes or no real and then when we get those opportunities and we don't make the goal or it gets intercepted or whatever, you see the shoulders drop and you see in demeanor and it's, oh, we're real close to giving up. And that sucks real bad. So I just really hope that whatever is going on this week in the locker room, if there's a players only meeting, if there's like a closed locker room kind of thing, and everybody hashes it out and figures out what they're going to do and bands together to figure out what the hell's going on. I really feel like that's the only thing that's going to change the system. Because as somebody who's played on a lot of teams, there comes a point when you and your teammates have to be like, I don't like this anymore. I don't like losing. I don't like feeling like this. I don't like, as much as our fans love us, they're disappointed. Nobody wants that.
There's going to be an exodus at some point of fans as the results don't come, right?
Yeah.
There's the hard, as we've mentioned this before, we've talked about this before when we're talking about, there's the hardcore fans, the fans that have been here through the many iterations of women's leagues, right? There's those fans. There's the fans that are also used to, you know, they might be fans of teams from Europe where it's like they've gone through a 25-30 year spell of not winning anything, right? And they are there for that hurt. But then you have the casuals, right?
Yep.
The casual fans that are getting hyped on what's going on. But if the game starts to become, yes, the atmosphere is electric, but if the game starts really becoming boring or really becoming depressing, I don't know how much an electric atmosphere is going to stay there.
Especially because this city is fickle.
Yes. And it's no secret that every single team is fighting for your money, right? Every single team is fighting not only for your money versus the other team, right? Come to ACFC and give your money to this team rather than giving it to the Sparks or giving it to the Lakers or Clippers or Dodgers or Rams or whatever. Name your sport. USC, UCLA. Or even come spend 2 to 5, 6 hours at the stadium for this game.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the beach, going hiking, going camping, going to the movies. You're competing with so much more in this area that you have to keep it up. And like, take a look at like the teams that have been here for a long time, and then you get to the point where like the free hot dog giveaways at Dodger games, and there's a reason why they've gone down to free hot dog giveaways. It's still an exciting thing when it is, but you also got to get butts in seats somehow. And this might drive that prematurely. If this was happening, if they were doing like free hot dog with your ticket purchase in 10 years, okay, understandable. Not in like year 4, right? I don't want to see year 4 be like, if you buy a ticket to the Pride match, we'll also give you a ticket to this other match. No. And if you hit that point, something went wrong. And we know what went wrong. Okay, previewing the match, we have our Pride match against Orlando Pride at BMO Stadium. Really, the one person we're going to be talking about is Banda.
She's bonkers, guys. And I mean that in the best way.
No.
The record for braces, she's had 10 goals in 10 games. There's
this year there's been a whole crop of players that have come into the league that have been like lights out. And although she's playing, I was thinking of Asat on Bay. I was like, although she's playing on a team that hasn't been winning, but no.
Oh,
Banda's playing on a team that's killing it. So
killing it. Yeah, and if you listen to this podcast since its inception, you will know that I will scream from rooftops about African soccer teams and how good their players are and how underappreciated they are, underfunded, underrespected, everything. They are so good. And we're starting to finally see that in the NWSL with Asasat, Banda, these players that are slowly coming in, Rachel Kundananji. And there's no cap to this. There's no ceiling to greatness. And with Barbara Banda, we're watching a living legend in the same way that we're watching Marta being a living legend. To give you some background, so Barbara Banda is Zambian national team player. She's a forward. She is a boxer, like a semi-pro boxer, and was so good, people wouldn't compete against her. They're like, no, thank you. Which, if you watch her play and you watch her footwork, you see it. She dances around people. And man, it's wild. I'm bringing this next thing up because I think it's abhorrent and I think we need to talk about it because it happens a lot in women's sports. And there's a big push to quote unquote save women's sports and protect women's sports. And I have really big sarcastic air quotes around this. The idea that you can or should be disqualified if your natural testosterone levels are too high. This is something, I think I talked about it before or last season when we were talking about World Cup stuff about Caster Semenya from South Africa, who's a track and field athlete who has gone through hell because of having a different genetic makeup where her testosterone levels are high. There's a million reasons for that. And Barbara Banda and another player from Zambia were disqualified from the African Cup of Nations in 2022 because they failed their big air quote gender verification test because Africa has stricter than like Olympics. Because the idea is that for women, the more testosterone you have, the more advantage you have, which is not always the case. It's usually not the case. That's not how hormones work.
Yeah.
I have big issues with this. It's so disgusting. And it's a human rights violation. At a certain point, the human rights folks jumped in on it and was like, what is this? This is so awful. But with that said, Barbara Banda also has her own foundation to help women and girls in Zambia get access to more things through sport, economical help, schooling, supplies, like life things, just to get
Give them
a
the chance.
little bit.
Give them the opportunity.
Yeah, like have a little more equity in their lives. And it's just to do it through sport. And I think that's fantastic because I feel so old saying this. She is 24 years old. She's so young. I'm just there to like let Mario do the calculations in his head. And I'm sorry for everyone listening to that because,
I'm taking this in the other way. I'm taking this in so far this pod has been a little bit more moody and down than our usual. But I just love the fact that we're at this point really where we're looking up to these players.
Yeah.
That are like crazy younger than us. Mm-hmm. Some of the players in the league are our age and they're still running around and amazing athletes. But as the league starts getting younger and younger, we're looking up to like players like Alyssa and Giselle.
Makes me feel like Maggie McConaughey and Dazed and Confused, and I hate it. It's so gross.
But so I laugh because I kind of love it.
Oh, for sure.
I remember the very first time having this feeling of like I'm getting so intense about this player and then realizing, wait, this player is like 18, 19 years old is when I was like watching college football. After I think I was still in college, but then also I was a transfer, so I was like the elder in college.
Right.
And then watching college football and being like, what the F? Oh. And then realizing, wait, these guys that are playing are literally 18, 19, 20 years old. Most of them aren't legal age to drink, yet we're putting all this emphasis on them not performing, right? And then I thought that's when I like, this is hilarious, and I love it. Love it in the sense of they're doing amazing things. And so the fact that she's 24 and doing this amazing work to build up her community.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the hell was I doing at 24? Not that.
Yeah. You have visceral memories of realizing I was the same age as Major League Baseball players and going, oh my God, at 24. And going, oh, well, that ship sailed. No, but I completely agree. To be so young and so talented and have the opportunity to play where that wasn't always an option in previous generations, like, it makes me so happy. I'm expecting that we're gonna get wrecked. Like, they blanked Utah. 2 people had braces. Oh
6-0.
man.
I think this one's very much we come out of this with a draw. We call that a win. Like,
Absolutely.
It might end up being ugly, but like we've stated before, a draw means that we played. A draw that feels like a win means we played up to their level and we're able to hold them back, right? And then there's the draw where it feels like a loss, where we should have won that and we let it go and we got the draw. This one definitely is going to be one of these where we need to play up to their level and literally play
and if
up
for some
to their
reason
level.
we win, that's cool.
If it'll be another episode of us going crazy and being like, we're the best in the world, we're going to win the next one. Just face it, it will be.
Season.
We're, as much as we're down on the team right now, we do love this team. We are lifers in not the kind of creepy psycho way. But
just in I will support this team until forever.
Yeah.
Because they deserve it. But historically, matching up against Orlando, we've won once, lost twice, and had 2 draws. So it's very even. Who knows? Who knows? All right. And with that said, keep an eye out for some really fun Olympic stuff. We are in the works of planning and setting dates and recording and all sorts of stuff. The next episode will be our matchup against Gotham, which is the send-off game for Gotham. So basically the national team is half their roster, so it works out. And it will be the last regular NWSL season episode for a minute. But we have stuff. Don't worry. We've got stuff coming.
Yes.
You will not be without us.
There will be some Olympic footy from Casual FC, so please keep an eye out on all that.
And Friends. Casual FC and Friends. I'm so excited.
All right. Reminder of where to watch and listen. Again, Sunday, June 30th, Angel City versus Pride. It's a home match, and it will be our Pride match. Pride. It'll be at BMO Stadium.
I feel like I need an air gun. Like Pride. Yeah.
It's going to be at 4:30 p.m. Broadcast schedule is going to be on NWSL Plus, Golazo Network, Bally Sports, Paramount Plus. It's also going to be on the radio with iHeartRadio. Listen to Isaac and Tracy because we love them. And we actually got a message from someone who was like, "Oh, I listened to Isaac and Tracy for this game, and it was amazing." I'm like, "Yes, see, that's why."
Yeah, Richie too. Richie was listening to them and was like, "They're so great." Like I told you.
Isaac, Tracy, there you go. And then it's also going to be in Spanish on 13:30 a.m. Tu Liga Radio. And remember, there's a match giveaway for the ACFC Pride bandana. Check out their Instagram if you want to see what it looks like. But it will only be for the first 10,000 people, so arrive early if you want it. Get early. There's a fan fest probably going on, which means there's going to be a lot of stuff to do beforehand. There's going to be all the
bring
SG.
Water. Bring sunscreen.
Bring water.
Bring extra deodorant. It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot. You can hang out with all of the SGs doing their tailgate for Pride. And when the gates open 90 minutes before kickoff, make sure you get in there if you want that Pride bandana.
I'll be there. If you see me, come say hi.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for being here for this really intense footy therapy session. I hope it was as therapeutic in a way for you as it has been for us, for real. So yeah, Thank you. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening. Check out casualfc.com for all the pod links. Best ways to support the pod. Share or comment on any of the posts or episodes or on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It's all about engagement. Grab some merch at shop.casualfc.com as we keep putting more stuff on there. Angela just filled up her Pride glass with some nice iced coffee today, which if you didn't see on our socials,
coffee. It was protein shake and coffee. We do what we got.
And then if you feel so inclined, help support the pod by buying us a coffee. Check out our link on our socials or go to buymeacoffee.com/casualfcpod. All our socials is casualfcpod on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and TikTok. And tell a friend about the pod. It brings us good luck. Look, we bank all the good luck. We send it to the team. How they use it is their prerogative. I know you guys are telling friends and telling people about the pod and giving us that good luck, and we're sending a good amount over. Just like
it's
I
being
said,
lost in translation right now.
Yeah, but we'll keep sending it as long as you keep giving it. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you at the Pride.
It's Pride.